이 공간에 혼잡하지 않은 시간대는 없지만 가장 빽빽한 때가 지금이랍니다. 아침을 깨는 차를 즐기지 못하면 하루가 뒤숭숭할 테니까요.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mac. It's back to the Limbus Company Thread Luxcavation Redux. So, in the previous attempt at this, I actually tried under-deploying with a tremor team, which it does have the potential to push the encounter a lot lower than usually intended, but the problem is that, well, it relies on luck. You have to consistently beat the opponent's clashes, and that just doesn't happen all the time.
명령이라면
This is an alternative strategy.
제가 원하는 대로 배워버릴
It
테니
can work, but I do need to point out that... Oh, hang on, where was I going? There's a caveat to this, which I'll discuss in a little bit. First of all, we all remember the town robot, right? Well, we have a team with 4 Lust users. That's nice.
배는 맛은 있는 편이 좋은데.
The point for this one is bleed. We have enforced for keeping nails to help out with the bleed count at the end of each turn. Also the paralyze and the gaze, that's nice. But the other two are also quite significant bleed inflictors themselves. Have to keep in mind that because the paralyze is an effect, it shows +0. It won't always be in effect, so keep those numbers in check.
재미는 없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
Of course, we're having trouble sticking the bleed down because he has enough attack coins each turn that he's going to be getting rid of it before it sticks down. And even more unfortunately is that this level of bleed count makes it impossible for Hong Lu to get his cloud cutter off, but that's fine. Alright, so we remember how this works, right? Processing, transfer, registration. The first is unclashable. I have been looking around for a character that works well with a pride group and still has an evade, but also has enough HP to always grab this. I haven't gotten it yet, but I do have an idea of who could be used. As you can see, 7 bleed means that Cloud Cutter... Oh, Cloud Cutter would have actually worked, darn. And this would have been a good time to use his Blunt Force Trauma attack. Yet the Paralyze Sloth skill. Oh well, what can you do? Yeah, there'd be a slight power difference here, but the upside is that it can't get any more severe on her than that. As you can see, those bleed stacks are actually sticking down now. It's nice and significant. We have no hope of cracking that body stat, but that's not the point here.
거치적거리지만 마.
재미는 없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
Oh yeah, those are some significant nails driven into his body. And he dies from the bleed damage from that one attack. And this is actually a little bit faster than usual. Usual it's the next turn when he dies, because that's when he starts attacking en masse again. But he's now got such a super high bleed count on him. Alongside... Wait, no, I need to put this right. He has such a high amount of bleed and bleed count that the damage will overflow, so let's just have a quick jump in again.
예리한 검으로 하는 예술이 보고 싶었나?
재미는 없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
I like being able to get a little bit of SP at the start of the fight, what can I say? Okay, you're going to stick down 5. You're going to stick down 3 bleed count. So he's going to be at 5. Then he's going to drop down to 3. That's enough for Cloud Cutter. But I think... Yeah, sure.
재미는 없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
끝이.
Alright then, let's go. Oh dear, she's not even gonna get a chance to move.
재미는 없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
Not gonna get these bleed stacks off this turn. In fact, that 6 paralyze is going to mess him up quite a bit. Unfortunately, Rodian doesn't have that paralyze. Right, we can't use Blind Obsession or her. We can't use any of her skills because we just don't have the abilities. So we don't have Gloom to fill in the blanks, we don't have Wrath to fill in the blanks. A lot of things we can't do here.
거짓말거리지만 마.
He's not getting the full Cloud Cutter, but he is still going to hurt this guy. Because that Pride weakness. And 5 Fragile. So actually I should mention the caveat that I mentioned.
건 즐겁네요.
And Rodian's still hanging in the air. The caveat is that if an opponent dies from bleed, then it doesn't count as your kill. Apparently there are 2 things that this can interfere with. One is that it doesn't count for the daily missions for kill 10 enemies, but also it doesn't increase your observation log, which is kind of a problem. Because the observation log increases damage you deal, I think? But yeah, only go for the town robot bleed strat when you've finished off when you've finished off its observation log. After that, go right ahead. Bleed this thing to death as much as often as you can. It does actually seem to be a lot more reliable than the Tremor Strat, since the Tremor Strat usually kicks in after this turn, after that turn. Whereas Bleed Strat, yeah. But also, if you are skipping the Luxcavation, the Experience Luxcavation, and counting on the Pride, counting on daily on the Thread Luxcavations to count up your kill count, then that would be working against you. But really, who does that? Anyhow, until next time guys, take care. I'll see you all around.